Hello and welcome to the second episode of the Garage Journals. This is a gorgeous Sunday morning here where I live, southeastern Pennsylvania. Very sunny, perfect top-down weather. A little chilly, but nothing that we can't handle. So I got a little agenda this time for the journal so I don't get lost in thought and whatnot. Today we're going to talk about what happened in my last event, and mostly we're going to talk about that, honestly. And then we're going to talk a little bit about plans on what's coming up. Like I said on the first episode, the Garage Journals are this video content that kind of fill in the gaps between what happens, between the events. I never thought I was going to do one of these, honestly, but it feels like you have to constantly be producing some sort of content to keep people interested. It's one of the things I've been learning about setting up this website and the cluelessracer.com. I guess I need to learn to plug it in as much as I can. So in order to keep people interested, in order to keep them attached to the website, apparently, I have to produce all this content, and that's kind of weird. It's a little difficult for somebody who doesn't have that previous experience. You have to always think about things. I mean, it's not terrible. It's still just a hobby. It's still something that I enjoy doing. It's related to motorsports, so I have fun doing it. But anyways, so what I guess today is special because about an hour or so ago, maybe, the 24 Hours of Le Mans finished. I actually haven't checked the results yet. So, if you want to go check the results, that's fine. But I wasn't really following anybody in particular this time. So back to the agenda for today. The last event was the usual place. The Brandywine Motorsports Club runs their events at the Ripken Stadium, the Iron Birds ballpark in Aberdeen, Maryland. And this was on September 12th. Didn't do so well, didn't do as well as I hoped that I was going to do. I had some real trouble with the layout of the course. That compounded with the psychological effect of DNFing your first few laps made it very difficult for me to put down a proper lap on that course. My best lap was a 54.2. I think the best in my class was something like 50 seconds. Yeah, I have the table here on my website. Mark Gaither did a 50.6 on his S2000. The interesting thing about the times on the CS class is that you can have a pretty good idea of how competitive your car should be in that category, because you have the whole SCCA Nationals, the Pro Solo and all that stuff to compare to. And as a testament to Mark's driving skill that his S2000 beat everybody, because normally the S2000 wouldn't beat the latest generation Miata. Fortunately for him, or perhaps unfortunately, because it didn't really get real competition. The only ND2 Miata driver in a ND2 Miata was me, and I suck at it, so I was way behind him. But in any case, so I can actually say that I'm 4 seconds too slow. 4 seconds too slow on that car. That car can do a lot better than what I did. But props to Nick Kirk this time, my nemesis. He beat me solidly, close to 1 second, or 0.8 seconds for the 4th place in the class. And Matt Mooney, great guy. it also drives an NC Miata, like Nick. He got a third place, and Daryl Pope. Not sure. I don't think I've met him. Drives an '89 Porsche 944. I don't even remember him from the course, but I was pretty busy trying to try to find my way around the course to notice other drivers. And we got Sean Hurt on sixth place in the class. I don't think it was his day that day either. So what happened in the course? Well, I don't think the course was particularly complicated, and I could tell you, maybe I'll post the map of the course on the video, but I'm not going to. Just go to the site and click on the image. You can enlarge it, and you can kind of follow along as I talk you through the course here. So this was more what we're used to in those events. The course started on the right side of the parking lot, on the top right side of the parking lot. If you look at the map, align that in that manner, like in the picture and the website at thecluelessracer.com. Just look for the BMC Autocross 3 event post, which is right close to the top of the homepage. Find the map, click on it, enlarge it, and then you understand what I'm talking about. So I guess you could divide the course in maybe 3 sectors here. You got, from the start, we have like a sweeping right turn that kind of tightens up at the end with a very light kink, and then I guess you'd call this a Chicago box, the first one early on. The map doesn't really. The map as pictured is not exactly what was laid out on the course in the end, because usually they have to make adjustments to do a test run and they modify things a little bit, but roughly this is accurate. So you had a little bit of a slalom going on that first right to left on the map, the first sector, and all the way across the parking lot, past a couple of Chicago boxes. Or mini Chicago boxes. I guess they're kind of, I'm not quite sure if this qualifies as a Chicago box, probably not. Anyways, you make a hard left at the end to an actual Chicago box. And that was the sector that got me every time. So I marked, there's a number 1 and there was a circled cone there. So this was an interesting part, and you can also review the video if you want, but and in the video, it's very clear that every time I come out of the box, I make that first right kink. There is a cone that has a left marker, so I have to keep that cone to my left. And I keep thinking of it as a slalom, and I try to dig in to the next one to make the slalom, but it isn't. It's another keep to your left cone. There's another cone that needs to be to my left. So you can see this on the video where I do this. You can see in the video with Liz where she's saying, no, stay to the right, because my instinct is to do that zigzag again that I just did in the previous sector. So that was kind of a mind bender a little bit, but that wasn't even the thing that got me on that course. Was when you got out from those 2 cones, and then it became a kink to the left, and you have to make a kink to the left, and then it becomes kind of mini slalom again. Well, at that spot is where for some reason, I couldn't register that I have to make another right turn. So come out of the box, there is a bend to the right, so there's a cone to the left, a bend to the right, 2 cones that I have to keep to my left, then 1 cone that I have to keep to my right, and then 1 cone that I have to keep to my left again. Is that cone that I kept missing. I missed it twice. 2 runs DNF'd because of that cone, because I didn't think of doing that last right turn. I went straight to the main gate, to the end of that stretch that would lead me to the hairpin at the very end of that sector, at the very corner of that sector. So that part was really tricky for me mentally. I don't know why. It wasn't really that complicated. The course, if I look at the layout on the screen, It doesn't seem that complicated, but from the driver's seat, it just felt. No, I just got a text from my wife. My son is in a soccer game right now, and his team got his second win in the season. He's undefeated so far, 4-1. Yay, go Samuel. So, anyways, where was I? Right. So, that the course wasn't that complicated. It was a little tricky at times, but it wasn't supposed to be a big deal. However, it was. And it's important to try to learn something from this, right? So, what did I learn from what happened there? I didn't learn anything specific about driving skill. I don't think. I mean, the brake applications, the technical parts of the circuit could have been done better. I mean, if you look at your video, you always see, why the heck did I slow down on that turn? There was no need for it. Like, for instance, on the first sector, towards the end of the first sector, there's this split up corner Chicago box thing that I slowed down for. The last one, I didn't have to slow down. And I think the reason I slowed down was because after I DNF'd a couple of times, I was trying to watch other drivers going through the course to try to make sure I register some of the things I needed to do, so I didn't DNF once more, or twice more. It turns out I DNF'd 4 times out of the 6 runs, the first 4 times. And so I noticed that people were braking there, and I made a mental note to do that. But honestly, I did not have to do that. Even driving it, I realized I really didn't have to slow down. But that doesn't matter. So you see these things on the video. You see where you slowed down, you didn't need to. You see where you left a lot of gap. You see where you went too fast. The hairpin at the very end of sector 2, oh my gosh, I was overcooking that like crazy. And you can see in the video with Liz where I goes like, oh, that was awful. That was awful. It was awful. It was pretty bad. Definitely didn't apply brakes as I should. Like I keep remembering that hairpin, and I keep thinking I should have just slammed on the brakes, slowed down, and tried trail brake into that turn. Didn't do any of that because, I had my mind elsewhere at that point. And I think that's what it boils down to. It was my mental state during that event was tricky. I've written about this before, where I say, I have to suppress that urge to set a fast time on my first run, because I've DNF'd every first run in every event I've been to. In fact, I think most events I DNF'd the first 2, and there was this low point where I DNF'd the first 4. I keep peeking on my coffee mug and not drinking. It's gonna get cold. Right. So that mental state was a problem, because when you DNF the first turn, all you have in your mind is, I still haven't got that. I still don't have a time on the board. That's fine. I still have 5 runs, but I gotta get a time on the board, and that's how it starts. And it snowballs from there. I gotta get a time on the board. I only have 5 runs. I still need to learn the course and improve. So I might as well set a fast lap this time. Since I DNF'd the first one, I think I learned something. I'm gonna try to do something different this time. I DNF'd again. And you can see how that makes it worse now, because what I really should have done at that point is, all right, the third run is gonna be a throwaway. You're gonna slow down, you're gonna learn the course. That's what I should have done, I think. I mean, I should have done that from the first run, but I didn't do that on the first run. Should have done that on the second run, didn't do it. The third run, I should have done that. But at that point, you were thinking, whoa, my opponents are way ahead of me now. I have no time on the board. I need to get something in there. And now I've learned a little more. I DNF'd in 2 different spots. I got this. Keep doing it, and you keep screwing up. And that's what I did. I kept screwing up. Screwed up the third time. I think the third time I actually ran with Duke Wilford, and he got me through the spots where I had missed the first time. The first one was incredibly bad. The first one that I did, I got so lost that I went in the middle of sector 1, of sector 2 in the middle of the course, literally, and I just looked at me and blinked. I didn't know where to go. I stopped the car, was looking around to see if I could salvage anything. The guy at the corner, the station was like, Jack, go that way, because there was a car coming, you know. And you don't want to red flag the other guy's possibly very good time, and anyway, so I totally ditched that one, just turned around and moved the course and went straight to the exit. Terrible. So I didn't learn anything from that first run, 0. The second run, I go and screw it up. The third run, I got Duke to ride with me, and I missed that the infamous cone that I told you about that I always kept missing. I missed it for the first time, and Duke's impression was I was just going too fast. But the truth is, I wasn't really going too fast. I was going too fast because I was aiming to the gate past the cone instead of aiming to the cone. That's why I was going too fast. So that was terrible. And the fourth one, I went by myself and screwed it up again on that same cone. And then Liz came in, and she kind of settled me down a bit. I told her exactly where I was having problems, and told her, you got to remind me to just fix that one spot and just get me through that spot, and I'll do the rest. She did a lot more than that. I mean, it's nice to have somebody on the car do the same thing. It kind of brings it slows down your brain a little bit, because you're by yourself, you're thinking at 1,000 miles an hour, but if there's somebody there, you kind of have to slow down your brain a little bit, and that helps. So that was my fifth run with Liz, and I got through that one and set a time finally. And then the last run I improved fairly significantly, like 0.6 seconds, which is pretty good in autocross. If I had done that from the beginning, it would be fantastic. And then of course, Nick goes in and improves 1.1 second his last lap. Blew me out of the water on that one. Learnings then from that situation, just slow the F down on the first lap. I'm learning. I haven't done that many autocross. Every time I talk to people, I keep thinking, 5 autocross events is a lot, right? No, it's not. It's not a lot. No course is the same as the previous one. You didn't really bring the driving skills from one to the next. You have to bring the skills you bring from one event to the next are how to deal with your nerves, how to focus on the what you have to do to learn the course and that sort of thing. And that's what I'm still missing. So I literally have to slow myself down on the first lap. I really have to. I keep saying this, and I've written it, and I haven't done it. I just have to do it. I have to do this thing. Maybe I'll tie a bowstring to my finger or something to remind me. I don't know. I have to do that. I have to slow down on that first lap. The skill that I don't have, that I'm not quite sure how to acquire yet, and it's just going to be a matter of practice and experience, is how to look further ahead on the course, because that's how you would know. You got to keep your eye a few gates ahead of you, at least a couple of gates ahead of you, and that's not something I've been doing. I've been going from one gate to the next. Only towards the end of the set is where I'm trying to register the course well enough that I can think strategically. A couple of cones over there'll be a kink, and I can speed up here, and I can start braking over there, and then I can make that turn. That's only at the end of the course, because I haven't been staring at them ahead of me as I drive. I've been trying to remember from the last drive. Of course, if you DNF and you screw up the first drives, that's not going to really be that helpful. It's not a very good tactic. So I need to fix that as well. So yeah, I think those are the biggest things that I learned that I need to fix in my driving, is slow the heck down. Actually, there's only one thing. Slow the heck down on the first lap. The first lap is not going to be a fast time. Period. It's not going to be a fast time. Just slow the heck down. That's putable on that one. So before that event, I had made some changes to the brakes and the alignment. The alignment was fantastic. I mean, there's a hint a hint of oversteering, of understeering, just a hint. I'm not even sure if it's, because I only noticed it on the hairpin at the end of Sector 2, beginning of Sector 3 on the map, where there is that very tight right turn. And there was a hint of, not even, honestly, there was no oversteering. It was just neutral. I loved it. Agile Automotive did a fantastic job, I think. I really liked the setup that they did. You can review in the previous Garage Journal where I talk about the alignment numbers. I really liked it. Fantastic setup, I think. The brakes, I didn't really get to use them to the full effect, but oh my gosh, just driving on the street, just driving around the neighborhood. I mean, other than the freaking noise, that noise is ridiculous, but it doesn't matter. The brakes feel so much, the brake pads have much more bite, that's for sure. And I demonstrated that on one of the videos as well. I might link all this stuff to the description of this video, whatever. So, but then when I flushed the fluid, which I did not think was going to have a major effect, did not think it was going to have a major effect, because the fluid in the car was just a year old, give or take. And so I put new fluid. I'll link the brand of fluid. It's supposed to be a high boiling point fluid, and that made the pedal feel so much more responsive, so much harder. It starts braking much earlier. There was nothing wrong with the amount of fluid that was in there before, and I had bled the lines before, so it's not like there were bubbles. But changing the fluid changed the behavior of the braking feel to so much better now. So that's a note for you if you're setting up your car for autocross. Don't change the brake fluid. It doesn't matter if your car is fairly new. Just do it. It's fantastic. And worked really well for me. So yeah, I think that's a wrap for that event. That event was fun. It was a good amount of competition on the CS class as well. Number of cars was great. Nice to see some of those guys again, especially Nick. Really like racing with them. It was kind of cool to have him giving me motivational motivational speeches from the grid. So get in there, man, I believe in you. I appreciate that. That was nice. So what's coming up for me? Not much, really. I think the car is in a good state. I'm not planning to do anything else to it. Just bleed the lines, I think, from last event, top up, whatever fluid. And really liking, I mean, I haven't exploited, this car is, I'm so far behind. I haven't pushed the car to the limit. I haven't been able, my skill set has not been able to use this car up to the max yet, not even close to that. So there's no point in making any more adjustments. There's a few things I could do, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to for at least a season or two, I think, until I can feel like I can get some effect out of any more changes that I do to the car. So the next Brandywine event is on October 10th. Today is the 20th of September. So it's going to be a while. Maybe I'll go for a few drives and record the drives. There's some really nice roads around here. When I was doing the brake video, I felt like maybe people would like to see just like a nice Sunday drive around the back roads and this area of Pennsylvania. There's some really nice roads around here. Everything in legal speeds, nothing crazy. Just enjoying the top down weather. So yeah, October 10th is the next Brandywine event. I had set a goal for 5 events this year for myself. I'm not sure that's going to happen, honestly. Brandywine's only going to have 4 for one, and there's obviously other events out there I could try to find, but I haven't made up my mind on that yet. So we're gonna go probably with a 4 event season this year, and see what happens. What else do I have going on here on my notes? Oh yeah, okay, so I added a contact form to my site. Yeah, I guess that's I don't have much going on the site, I suppose. if this made the agenda. Yeah, so the site has been in a good spot. I like. I haven't needed to add anything. I think the biggest changes that I've done to the site, to the code, was to add the little links on the top where I put the social media links, so like Flickr and Twitter and whatnot. So now I got a contact form somewhere in there if you want to send me an email. You know, if you want to gripe about these stupid videos or whatnot, do it, whatever. And I guess I'm gonna, since I'm making this as a second video, it looks like garage journals might be a thing now for me. So I was thinking about putting an index page on the site somewhere. Other than that, I like where things are at the site, so I'm not really planning to make any major changes there. It's still a beautiful day out there, and I think I have plenty of time to go for a drive before my wife gets here with my son. So I'll take Amelia for a little drive in the neighborhood, top down. Try to enjoy some of the weather. Well, thank you for staying through another silly garage journal video and then hearing to my ramblings. I'll see you next time.